Yeah. Jay Rains. Let's get Jay
Yo,
Rains.
what's up, bro?
Frank,
Man,
what's
I'm good,
happening,
man. I'm
family?
good. Yes, sir.
You all right? Yes, sir. Let's get this. Let's get
Cool.
this
Let's
started, man.
chit chat.
You
What
know
up?
what I'm saying? Jay Rains.
Going on?
What's
All is
happening with
well,
you,
all is
man?
well.
Just
Yes,
there.
sir.
What's up, my boy?
What
Let
up?
me
What
invite.
up, Cap, brother? We
Yeah, that's what I
bass
was gonna
and
say.
Cap brothers, Cap and bass.
Cap all day. Yes, sir. Man, it's good to see y'all boys, man.
Man, same to y'all, man.
All right.
How's the weather
It's
out there in
cool. It
Florida,
got
Frank?
kind of chilly last night. It looks like all week we're just about to have this little cold front, so it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been dealing with some bipolar stuff.
Cold.
How the weather out there, Jay?
Cold.
Right. He said
I
it
bet.
straight up. Cold.
Cold, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we was like
I
what, 40
bet.
degrees, you know what
I
I'm saying?
bet,
37. Woo.
All right.
Oh man. Yeah, nah, it said it was like 20
So
something the other day out here in
Wow.
Texas.
down there in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas got the most bipolar weather I've ever
Yeah, that's how it
experienced.
is up here, man. Or down here, I should say. People that know me will probably say that I should be used to it, living in Pittsburgh and Boston. But I ain't been up
Right, because
so long.
right. I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? It's been a long time though, so
Yeah.
I got used.
Yeah.
Snoop.
That's crazy.
What up, Reverend?
Yes,
What up, Reverend?
sir.
What's up, boy?
The great
What's
man of
happening?
God, yes.
Man, y'all good?
Chilling,
What's
man.
happening
Chilling.
with y'all?
Freezing
You
down
all right?
there.
No,
No.
you the coldest
Man.
Well, I
person.
know you free.
Everybody.
Dallas been tripping though,
Oh,
man.
man.
Dallas been just as cold.
Oh, I know about Dallas.
Big
bro.
time.
Like,
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, Dallas been tripping, man. Man, I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, doing this live and all
man.
that. We yes sir, man. So nah, the people they got their own questions and all that. And then, somebody pre-made questions and stuff that we got. So first question is we can start with Frank. What was your earliest introduction to music and how did you become a bass player?
I'm from New York originally, you know what I'm saying? For those that don't know. And that's pretty much where it started. My pops is a musician, trumpet player, keys player, guitar player, you know what I'm saying? So it was inevitable that was going to pretty much be the situation. He kind of started me real early. Matter of fact, I've actually been working on this because I got a bunch of VHS. Yeah, I said a VHS. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Cassette tapes and stuff with me when I was really young. And I started on drums and keys. I didn't pick up bass till I was 11. And there's a story with that too. Like it was just, I grew up where we was in church every night. It was always some revival.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? So talking about sleeping under the benches, waiting for the evening service to start, that type of thing. And so it was one night, midweek service, and it was during offering, this bass player came through. You know what I'm saying? Dreadhead, you know what I mean? Looked like he just got done smoking a bag. Like, yeah, but they let him play, and it changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was very amused. I was like, wow, this dude really is killing. And from that point on, like, I picked up a 4-string, and that's pretty much was it.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, man.
That's crazy. So you start, did you start on keys though?
Keys and drums is what I started on. Yeah. Matter of fact,
that's wild.
I have an older sister.
That's wild.
And she was a violinist. And we actually did solos together. I was on keys, playing the little PSR, Yamaha keyboards, with the speakers. And it was just one of those, like,
crazy.
We're going to have the little Brunos play a selection. So that was pretty much it. It started there, you know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that's wild. That's wild.
Later on, just.
Jay Rains, how did you, what I'm saying, first become a bass player? What was your introduction to music, man?
Let me go back into my
yes, sir.
My history book.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Right. So,
Oh, Mark.
right. So I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where I was born and raised. And if anyone knows about anything about Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh is a huge jazz city, huge jazz city. And so I actually grew up playing trumpet. Trumpet was my first instrument.
That's dope. That's dope.
And,
That's wild.
Performing arts in middle school, high school. And I played, because it was a performing arts school, you had to play piano. So piano, drums, trumpet, that was all just a part of my curriculum. I didn't pick up bass until the 10th grade. So I picked up bass when I was 15. That's when I started playing bass. And so music has always been there. And my mom was just like, hey, like whatever you want to do, I'm behind you. You know what I mean? So I was like, I want to dance. And so she put me in dance classes when I was like 5 and 6 years old. I was like, I want to draw. So she put me in visual arts classes. You know, but when it came to, I was in 5th grade, and they give you instruments when you're in elementary school.
I already know it. Yep.
My 3 choices were drums first, saxophone, and the trumpet. And of course, they gave me the trumpet. so
That's crazy.
Like a video game, if you will. Like I didn't play sports or the video games.
Right. Yes, sir.
I just took the trumpet and just tried to take it apart and see how it worked. And my teachers, they saw something that I didn't see at that young age, and they were like, "We want to recommend you to a performing arts school." So, and that's kind of where the love for music just kind of built up. Of course, I grew up in church, but there was already a drummer, so I didn't really.
But there's that, right?
There was a line, so I'm like, I'm good. So
that's crazy.
Just because I had to go. I grew up Church of God in Christ, and you ain't gonna be home. You ain't gonna be home. You're gonna be in church. You're gonna be children's church, right. Sunday school. You know what I mean? So, but having the background of a performing arts school and then starting to play in church, that was like the big merger for me. Because I didn't pick up bass until the 10th grade, and that was because we didn't have any jazz bassists in my high school. All the bass players wanted to play classical, so nobody wanted to play the electric bass. And our guitar teacher was playing electric bass with a pick. I thought it was weird that they're walking the bass with a pick, but I mean, I appreciate it now. But
right,
so I was like, I'll pick up bass, and that was kind of like the start of you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So do you feel like it was easier for you to like learn bass because you already have understanding of other instruments?
The theory side of it, yeah, because my first teacher was my guitar teacher, and he just showed me, the shape of an 8-flat major scale, and I just took the bass home and applied what I already knew from playing trumpet, playing piano, theory, scales, chords. I just took all of that knowledge of theory and just tried to figure it out on the bass. I took the bass to church, and I sound like T-Rash. I sound terrible.
That's crazy.
I mean, this is how I'm gonna get better or whatnot. So
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What up, Ray?
Snoop?
What's up? Chilling, man.
What's happening, man?
Home from the grocery store, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Kroger. Come on, Kroger.
Yes, sir.
Hey, come on now.
Shout out to everybody tuning in. I saw Mark Kibble from Take 6 in there. Mark, that's the guy.
That's my guy.
Yes, sir. The
Yeah.
guy, what's up?
Oh, damn. I see T-Vaughn and everybody in here,
nervous,
man.
nah, Doc. But
Yeah.
man, I started out on drums. I started playing drums about 2-3 years old, and playing all through in church. Dad is an organist. Dad's an organist. My mom sings. My mom plays drums. Like she can play drums a little bit. And what up, Darius?
That's great,
right?
So yeah, just all them years in church, and mom, I was playing for the choir and, dragging my mom, be like, pick it up, just the whole, the training, the church training. And so I didn't really get into bass. I messed around with bass around 13. I started to, kind of really take a liking to it. And so I started messing around with it. And around 14, I kind of got, it was always a bass player at the church. But like when I first heard Clean Inside, won't he make you?
Right.
And then he did that walk down. I was like, man, what is that? It's just, so yeah, I just started really taking a liking to it. And then what's funny was I was in the sports, a little bit. I would kind of just play around, I would be on bass. I was kind of losing my passion for drums. I was taking a liking to bass. I was playing, basketball, football and stuff. I'm 13 or 14. And so I never forget this. I had went to Dallas and I saw one of my childhood friends. His name is Emmanuel Humes. I saw him. I ain't seen him in 25 plus years. We had, when he moved off my block, me and him, we used to hoop. We used to play football. He was the first to get a Sega Genesis and everything. Like, when he moved off the block, wasn't nobody on the block my age. So that's when I pretty much just buried myself in the bass, man. I stayed in the room, didn't go outside, didn't play sports. Then, I just fell in love with bass, man. And then when I heard, I had, Joel Smith, is Volley, is all these, phenomenal people, Goucher. But then when I heard Marcus, I said, man, Marcus, Marcus Victor, I was done.
Yeah,
right.
Done. It's my mom would literally, I would wake up and I would do my homework at school so I could just come home and practice. And like Saturday morning, I didn't have a car, didn't know where to go. Get up, practice. My mom would say, "Come down, eat breakfast. Come down, eat. Go right back upstairs." She said, "Come down, eat lunch. Eat. Go right back upstairs. Come down, and get dinner. Eat. Go right back upstairs." And like all day, play all day Sunday. So, yeah, man.
That's dope.
That's tight, man. Speaking of people like them, though, who's been like some of y'all biggest like musical influences? Like, somebody who's seriously like influenced y'all.
Mine, I think it goes through phases. You know what I mean? So like me, like if we start like the beginning, mine was local. Mine was local heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in my hometown in Pittsburgh, there were guys. I'm gonna just name some names. You might have heard them, you might have not. but the main name is a guy named Alonzo Smith. Alonzo, he's from Warren, Ohio. Warren or Youngstown, Ohio. And from Pittsburgh, it's like a 45-minute, an hour drive. And I would sit in choir rehearsals. I would just go to choir rehearsals and just sit beside the drums and sit beside the bass player and just kind of listen.
Yeah, man.
And he was doing things on the bass that I just never saw people do, like that I still do to this day, like bend your bass to like go down a half step or a whole step.
Yeah.
Oh, and chords. I remember he did a chord for the first time, and I was like, "What was that? Oh my gosh!" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Alonzo Smith is one of my main influences. Ronnie Biggs. Man. Rest in peace, Don McNeil. I don't want to go through so many, but this local heroes is where it started for me in Pittsburgh. And then once I started to kind of travel more, one of the biggest influences became Maurice Fitzgerald.
So, yeah, man.
Like a quick story.
The
lady in my church, when I was about 15, 16 years old, she worked in like the CD area, or the church store. And back then, every Tuesday, new music came out, whether it was Circuit City or Best Buy or wherever your music store was, every Tuesday, that's when they dropped new music. So she would give me a CD or like 2 CDs every Sunday. Like, here, go learn this, go learn this, go learn this. And I remember, you know, back then, you know, you could open up a CD and see who's playing on what. I feel like we're so old now. So
man.
For like 4 CDs straight on bass, it was Maurice Fitzgerald. Yes, so like, you know, from John P. Key to Fred Hammond to CeCe Winans to Bishop Larry Trotter. So I'm like, okay, I've got to sound like this guy, because everywhere I look, he's on everybody's album. He's on everybody's everybody's DVD. So he became the main influence, because I'm like, he's on records. I want to play on records, and he's on record. And then from there, it kind of grew. Like, I knew about, you know, Victor Wooten, I knew about Marcus, but I didn't study any of them until later on, like in my career. It was Maurice, and then it was Terrence, who there wouldn't be a Justin Raines. Y'all wouldn't know who I am without Terrence. You know, period. Because Terrence is the one that shifted the mantle from Israel to me. You know, 15 years ago. So there wouldn't be a me without Terrence Palmer. So
that's dope.
You know what I mean?
Detroit,
Terrence Palmer is a freaking legend.
So, you know, and you know, Terrence, of course, Andrew Goucher, and then all of you all, you know, my peers. So like, it shifts in times, you know, to the point now, like, you can just open up Instagram and be inspired by somebody.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? But those are my main influences, you know, growing up.
That's dope.
That's tight, man. That's tight. What about you, Snoop?
Like you said, just all the hometown heroes. I had so many hometown heroes. And it was a guy named Ivan Woodard that played at my church back in the 80s, back when I was playing drums. Ivan listened to rock. Like, he listened to rock and roll, so like I wasn't used to none of that. So Dad would be playing bass with the organ, and he'd just be soloing. He'd just be like, Dad played bass. Like, Ivan would be ripping and stuff. I'm like,
oh, Dad.
Well, Ivan and his my bro Vincent Fitzgerald from Detroit. And like, I hate naming people because I know I'm gonna forget somebody, and I hate that. I hate that, but definitely Terrence Palmer. Like, when I first heard him, that first recording, that Fred Hammond recording at Straight Gate, just blew my mind, man. DeAndre Thomas, man, there's another, you know, more Detroit heroes, and like, God, I can't think. I know I'm gonna think of a ton of people when we get done. But then, Volley, rest in peace, passed, man. And he was one of the guys that just really blew me away. Just how he would change, you know, chords with his bass note and everything, just like that, like stuff like that. And then when I heard Joel Smith, and it's a song, Holy Spirit on a James Moore album, and he was doing stuff on that song. I was just like, okay, I heard other bass players, and I heard how they maneuver, but it's like, what is it about him that it's like he's playing notes that the keyboard player plays, and it's like he's playing a chord broken up or something. Like, you know, it's just, I'm like, what is he doing? What is this magic? And then from him to Petitucci and and then the list just goes on, and like, and of course, y'all, like, every time I see a video of y'all, like, it's crazy. I mean, it's very inspirational. You got the young ones coming up, Mono, and good Lord, and Tim. Let me tell you something about Tim. I ain't trying to hear it, bro. I ain't trying to hear it. Tim, y'all, everybody tune in, all y'all. Tim,
make sure y'all follow Tim Ramsey.
This guy right here,
right?
I appreciate that, man.
All them Ramsey,
make sure you say
a problem. King, what is it? Turn.
Right, King Turn.
Yeah, King
Follow
Turn.
Yeah,
I appreciate
bless
you,
your
man.
life. And don't get me started on Matt and
Thank
all
you,
them.
dog.
Yeah.
Right.
It's too many. It's too many dope cats to be arrogant. It's too many, man. It's too many. So, but yeah,
yeah.
Man, I hate it because I'm forgetting names, and it's a guy in Dallas named Left Hand Kevin. Like
Yeah,
out here in Dallas.
Kevin is out of his mind. It's
Kevin is a
people
beast,
everywhere.
man.
Nobody's heard of him. Just not saying him, but like it's people that you wouldn't think but they not playing for they not maybe not touring or maybe not all
right.
showing photos and stuff. But it's some monsters out here, and but yeah, I could talk forever, man. Y'all, go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, man.
That is crazy.
Man,
what's up with you, Frank?
Justin said, man, the locals. So growing up, I had a couple locals, man, that I looked up to, and like the one when I first picked up bass, I didn't have a relationship with him, but like I said, he just walked on in, and then there was everybody would just tell me, "Oh, this dude, this nigga cold blooded, man." I was like, "What?" Killed the 4-string, changed my life. You know what I'm saying? But from when I moved from New York to Florida, man, that's when I encountered a dude by the name of Shakespeare. Like, is what we called him. You know what I'm saying? And Shakes really like changed the game for me. You know what I'm saying? Like Shakes was doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, Shakes would play a joint and just start tapping in the middle of it. I'm like, yo, I need, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know what that was, like what you was doing. So, I was always on a hunt. Just always on a hunt, just trying to learn. And like you said, Justin, like the phases, we have little seasons where it's like, man, maybe we're in a season where we want to just learn the technical stuff or just learn theory.
Yeah.
And then we're on this vibe, we're on this wave for this moment of time that works at that present time. And then it's like, okay, well, we want to shift and understand gospel like really hard down. Because I didn't get on to like Big Mo till later. Like when I saw like strength and all that kind of stuff, I'm thinking, man, these jokers are killing the game. Now,
man.
I know y'all know about the all gospel DVDs and the
dude,
CDs and stuff. Man, I racked up on all of them, bro. I racked up on all of them, man. And it was like, I probably got a VHS that won't work because I kept rewinding.
Yeah, man.
And stuff. So, I was that guy. And at the time, I didn't have high-speed internet. It was like one of them dial-up stuff. So, you got to wait for it to buffer 2 hours and stuff. And I was on that computer 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning trying to transcribe stuff because I was that determined. Like I was that guy that studied Vic for 6, 7 years. Matter of fact, my very first bass solo, I probably posted as a TBT, but I was straight Vic. Like just learning. Yes. And at the time, that's what I was into. That's what I liked. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved it. And so I have to pay homage to that to him. Yeah. Because like Vic and the Marcus and stuff, man, it's like, man, you can just mess around and go there and find somebody that will run circles around you. And like you said, Snoop, just because they're not out in the open or people are saying their names and stuff, don't necessarily mean they're not out here killing. They're killing, right. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's why we can never get out of that student mentality. Like, we have to remain students for the rest of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Right. We can always learn. Yeah. We can always learn from somebody. We can always learn from our peers. You know what I'm saying? From those who are social media, like you said, we pull up social media and boom, you can learn. You know what I tell a lot of people? It's like, I want to learn something. I'm like, honestly, you have access to so much information now. Yeah. Like, there's no excuse. Yeah, you have access to so much. You can pull up somebody's page and learn. Or YouTube, heck. You know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff out there, man. Like,
too much.
I learn from y'all all the time. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like, and there's so many other cats. And when it came to records, you got your Big Mo's, and I was listening to Daryl Freeman heavy. Like, you know, it was like, man, cats, I was really playing records. Then you got your Morgan Turners. And then, of course, Snoop. Man, I got to say a huge shout out to Snoop because man, in the role as a bass player for
Snoop ain't believe me when I told him I grew up on him.
Listen, I was never sleep on you. But listen, I really woke up when I seen you play that Marcus Miller joint. I forgot what it was. I think it was Marcus or Vic, but listen, you was playing that 4-string Fender.
Mm-hmm.
And you killed that joint. Wow. Yep. I said literally, if you hear that, you would know that it was Snoop. Legit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Man. Like, legit. But see, that stuff, man, it takes somebody to sit there and really work on their tone, work on everything, man. And so, like, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, man. Like,
that's tight. Man, look, can one of y'all talk, just talk about how important, like, relationships are? Just being a musician or, just a businessman, it don't matter, whatever. Just talk about how important relationships has been like.
Well, I can say something real quick because I got a ton of stories, man.
Go ahead.
I learned real quick not to be out here like be on a high horse because I've seen somebody get spat on like because they thought that they was the man, like, and just that quick. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a rude awakening. And that from that point on, I was like, man, look, like, I'm grateful because just as God given us these gifts, man, we can wake up the next day.
You better know it.
Take it right away.
To do nothing. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like you just, man, look, I feel like this is a safe place to be. And I just prefer to be that way. But as far as to your question, man, dude, like, relationships has helped me as times where I was asked to do a particular gig or something like that, and I couldn't do it at the time. I was super disappointed about it, but because of the relationship I had with this individual, man, it did a whole full circle. Came right back around a couple years later, and it was like, man, I reached back out to you, man, because like we just kept this solid. I'm like, wow, man, like it just pays. It just pays. It's not just all what you can do on your instrument, man. It's like tour. Y'all know what it is. We tour.
It's all about man.
We maybe spend 2 hours on the stage, but we spend a whole lot of time off stage too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that camaraderie, that relationship and stuff is so important, man. It's so important. And the only reason why I had the opportunity to do like my hit with Miley Cyrus when I did years ago was a relationship situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was straight relationship. That's the only, because I didn't even know it was even happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know it was happening. I got to call your friend, man. It's an auditioning happening here. And they said, well, yeah, Miley Cyrus. I'm like, never heard of her. You know, I wasn't watching Disney. I was out working a full-time job. And at the time, I was attending school and still doing music on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So who had time to watch Disney? You know, like,